Okay, so get this. You might be walking around with a penny in your pocket that could be worth a whopping $1.80 million. Yep, that's $1.8 million for 1 cent. Forget Bitcoin, forget stocks. We're diving deep into a humble little copper coin today, the 1966 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Spoiler alert, it's not just old pocket change, folks. It's treasure, literal treasure. And the craziest part? You might have had one sitting in a junk drawer right next to your expired coupons and 3 random AA batteries. All right, let's rewind the clock to 1966. Gas was 32 cents a gallon, Batman was on TV in tights, and the US Mint. Well, they were skipping mint marks entirely. Yep, that's the twist. No mint mark wasn't a mistake. It was intentional. The Mint removed mint marks from 1965 to 1967 to discourage coin hoarding. Collectors were snatching coins straight out of circulation faster than my grandma hoards butter containers. But here's where it gets spicy. While most 1966 pennies are common, a tiny handful were struck with striking errors or in pristine condition that make them ultra rare. One such beauty, a high-grade, red-colored MS-67 Plus, reportedly sold for $1.8 million at a private sale. Okay, let's break it down. What turns a copper coin into a $1 million marvel? There are 3 big value boosters: mint state or bust, baby. That means flawless. No scratches, dings, or coffee stains from living in your couch cushions for 40 years. You want red like brand new shiny red copper. There's also red brown and brown, but red is the prom king of Pennyland. Some rare 1966 pennies have double dyes or striking errors. If Abe Lincoln's face looks like he had too much caffeine, get that checked. So let me tell you about the time I nearly fainted over a penny. True story. I found this bright 1966 penny in an old shoebox at my aunt's house. No mint mark, gleaming like it just walked out of 1966. My heart skipped like 3 beats. I did a little victory dance that scared the cat. Took it to a local coin shop. The guy looks at it for 2 seconds and goes, "Cool penny. 2 cents at best." And I'm like, Sir, do you even know the internet?" But hey, the lesson? Get it properly graded. Don't just assume. Knowledge is power. And also, sometimes disappointment. All right, if you're now eyeballing every penny like a dragon guarding gold, here's how you can actually check if yours is worth big bucks. Check for the no mint mark under the year. If it says D or S, sorry, not the one we're after. Look at the condition. If it's scratched, bent, or has been used as a screwdriver, probably not valuable. Look for errors. Doubled letters, off-center strikes, weird shadows. Anything funky? That's good. Get it graded by PCGS or NGC, Professional Coin Grading Service, or Numismatic Guarantee Company. If your penny grades MS-66 or higher in red, time to celebrate. So there you have it, folks. That little 1966 penny you've been ignoring for years might just be your ticket to millionaire status. Or it might buy you a gumball. Either way, you'll never look at spare change the same again. And hey, even if your penny isn't worth $1.8 million, this channel definitely is an entertainment value. If you enjoyed this and want more tips on coins that could change your financial life, hit that subscribe button, tap the like, and ring the bell like it's 1966. I post weekly videos about coins worth money, collecting strategies, and my ongoing quest to retire off loose change. Until next time, stay shiny, my friends. 1973 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent. That's worth $1.7 million. No, that's not a typo. And no, you don't need X-ray vision to spot it. But knowing what to look for might just make your next coin flip life-changing. Stick around. I'll tell you why this little copper coin is worth more than a Tesla, and also share a hilarious story about the time I almost threw away a rare coin because I thought it was just trash. Spoiler alert, don't be me. All right, let's rewind a bit. The penny in question is from 1973, minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. Sounds pretty standard, right? Well, here's where the magic happens. This particular penny is super rare because of a very special error that occurred during the minting process. You see, during production, some coins get double struck, misplaced dies, or weird things happen that create what collectors call error coins. And error coins can be worth thousands, even millions. But the 1973D penny? It's got a unique story. There's one known example with a D that looks almost like it's floating or doubled in a way that's never been replicated. And that unique mistake is what makes it so valuable. In fact, one sold recently at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Yep, someone paid almost $2 million for a penny. Talk about a change for the better. I mean, imagine dropping $1 million and trying to pick it up, except this time, it's a tiny penny. So, why does this matter to you? Well, if you're anything like me, you've probably got a jar of random pennies sitting somewhere, maybe under the couch, in a drawer, or even stuffed in your car's cup holder, no judgment. And every now and then, that jar might just be hiding a fortune. Okay, quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her house, and I found a bunch of old coins, a real mixed bag of pennies, nickels, dimes. One of the pennies looked kind of odd, but I thought, nah, it's probably just some weird dirt or damage. So I almost tossed it in the trash. But something stopped me, a little voice saying, wait, check it first. Long story short, I took it to a coin dealer who identified it as a rare double-struck penny worth about $300. I went from nearly throwing away a tiny fortune to realizing the importance of knowing your coins. Now, I'm not saying every penny you find is going to make you a millionaire, but there are definitely gems out there. The 1973D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is like the holy grail of pennies. Proof that even the smallest things can pack a serious punch to S.O. Here's what you want to look for if you're out hunting for this treasure. A clear Denver D Mint mark that's doubled or looks unusual. The penny is from 1973. Check the date carefully. It's made of the usual copper, but the error in minting is what sets it apart. If you spot one of these, get it checked immediately. You could be sitting on a fortune, and hey, if you want to get serious about coin collecting or just learn which coins could be your next big payday, I'm here to help you every step of the way. So, what's the takeaway? That little penny in your pocket or your jar might just be worth way more than its face value, especially if it's a rare error like the 1973D Lincoln cent. And if you're thinking, man, I got to go dig through my coin stash right now, you're not alone. But before you do, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and join our community of treasure hunters and coin nerds who are always one step ahead of the game. Because who knows, your next lucky penny might just make you a millionaire, or at least get you a free cup of coffee. 1975, no mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. A coin so rare and valuable that it'll make your grandma's cookie jar full of pennies look like chump change. Cue upbeat music and quick flashes of the 1975 penny and dollar bills. So, why does this penny command a price tag bigger than my student loan debt? The 1975 Lincoln penny normally has a little letter on it showing where it was made, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But the 1975 no mint mark penny? That means it was struck in Philadelphia and something went a little wonky. This penny wasn't supposed to exist. It's a rare mint error. A penny that escaped with no mint mark in a year. They were mostly using mint marks, making it a super rare find. Experts say only a handful of these exist, and collectors go wild for them. Imagine finding this in your couch cushions instead of those weird snacks you forgot you hid there. Suddenly, your couch is a gold mine. Okay, so I've teased a $1.6 million price tag a few times, and you might be thinking that's just some crazy internet hype, right? Nope. In top condition, this penny has been valued and even sold for upwards of $1.6 million. That's more than a Tesla, a tiny house, or a lifetime supply of coffee. Host pulls out a calculator dramatically. Imagine you found one and thought, cool, a penny. Then a collector shows up and offers you enough cash to buy a small island or at least a very fancy pizza party. Now, that is pizza money. You know, this reminds me of when I found a rare coin as a kid. I was super pumped, thought I hit the jackpot. Showed it off to my dad, who took one look and said, that's a quarter from 1999, buddy. It's worth 25 cents. Heartbreaking, right? But hey, that's how we learn. Host shrugs, smiling. That experience actually got me curious about coins. And now here, I'm telling you about a penny worth more than most cars. So don't give up hope if you find a coin you think is just, well, a coin. It could be a little treasure waiting for you. So, if you want to be the next millionaire penny finder, what should you look for? First, Check the date, 1975. Second, look carefully for no mint mark, no D or S under the date. Third, condition matters. The cleaner and sharper the details, the more valuable it is. And if you find one, handle it like a tiny copper superhero, because these babies are fragile and rare. So what's the takeaway? That little copper circle might be worth a lot more than its face value. So next time you're digging through your change, don't toss those pennies aside like yesterday's leftovers. Take a closer look. You could be sitting on a fortune. If you want more fun tips on coins that could make you money, how to spot rare finds, and maybe even some strategies to grow your collection, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any treasure hunting adventures. Because who doesn't want to find $1.6 million lying in their pocket, right? See you next time, Coin Champs. 1995, D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. A coin so rare and valuable, it could literally buy you a private island or at least a really fancy dinner so buckle up, because if you've got a 1995 D-penny lying around, you might just be sitting on a gold mine. Well, almost gold. Let's get rolling. Okay, first things first. What makes this little guy so special? The 1995 D-penny is part of the Lincoln cent series, which, fun fact, has been around since 1909. Usually, pennies are just pennies, worth, well, 1 cent. But this one, it's a unicorn in the coin world. Why? Because of minting error. So what is the D? That stands for the Denver Mint, where a ton of pennies were made that year. But here's the catch. Most 1995 D pennies are, well, pretty normal and only worth about a few cents or a buck or two in uncirculated condition. But one very rare version has a subtle difference, a double die on the reverse side. In coin collector lingo, that's called a double die error, and it means parts of the design look like they've been stamped twice, kind of like when you accidentally stamp your hand twice and get a weird fingerprint. This tiny error makes that coin insanely rare. In fact, collectors have paid anywhere from a few $1,000s all the way up to a jaw-dropping $1.8 million for one of these. Yes, a single penny that could buy you a fancy car, a house down payment, or, well, a lot of coffee. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, my grandma gave me a jar of pennies she'd been collecting since forever. She said, "Maybe you'll find some treasure in there." I chuckled, flipped through them, and guess what? I didn't find a 1995 D double die penny. But I did find a 1984 penny with a weird scratch that I thought looked cool. Spoiler alert, it's not worth millions. Still, that moment got me thinking. What if we all had a secret treasure in our pockets or jars at home? It's like those shows where someone finds old comics in their attic worth thousands. It could be your lucky day. Back to the 1995 D penny. So how do you tell if you have this rare gem? The double die error on the reverse side shows doubling on the words 1 cent and United States of America. It's subtle, so you might want to grab a magnifying glass or your phone camera with a zoom. And remember, just because it says 1995 D on the front doesn't mean it's the rare one. The double die version is super rare. All right, so what's this bad boy worth? As I said, some have sold for up to $1.8 million at auctions. Insane, right? But don't go running out just yet. Most 1995 D pennies without the error are worth just a few cents or a few bucks. The million-dollar question is, does your coin have that special doubling? If you think it does, definitely get it appraised by a professional coin grading service. They'll authenticate the coin and grade its condition, which affects the value hugely. A penny that looks perfect might be worth way more than one that's scratched or worn. If you want to start collecting coins, or even just check your loose change, here are a couple quick tips. Look closely. Some errors are tiny, but they could be worth big bucks that don't clean your coins. I know, it's tempting to make them shiny, but cleaning can destroy the value. Seriously, don't do it. Keep them safe. A little plastic holder goes a long way. Ask an expert. Never guess the value yourself. It's a coin world full of surprises. So, next time you find a penny on the ground, don't just pocket it to add to your candy fund. Take a closer look. You might have a 1995 D-Mint Mark penny hiding in your stash worth millions. And hey, if you do find one, I'll be here to celebrate with you. Maybe even buy you that fancy dinner if you loved geeking out about pennies and want more tips on finding coins that could make you rich. or at least richer than their last paycheck. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out. Trust me, I've got more coin secrets up my sleeve than a magician with a hat full of rabbits. 2014 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. The coin that's making collectors drool and turning ordinary pennies into treasure chests. Spoiler alert, it's not your everyday penny. Okay, first things first. What's the deal with this 2014 penny? Why is it so special? Well, here's the scoop. Normally, pennies minted in 2014 show a tiny mint mark, like a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia, to tell you where they were made. But some genius or a super rare minting accident produced a batch without any mint mark at all. And that, my friends, turns an ordinary penny into a near mythical collectible. Shows a close-up graphic of the penny, highlighting the missing mint mark. Now, you might be thinking, cool story, bro, but is it really worth 1.7 million bucks? Yes, it is. Crazy, right? The scarcity of these no-mint mark pennies, combined with demand from collectors, has driven the price through the roof. It's like the unicorn of pennies. Let me tell you a quick story. I once found a shiny penny on the sidewalk, all beat up and sad-looking. I thought, it's just a penny. But then my buddy, who's deep into coin collecting, looked at it and goes, dude, this might be one of those rare 2014 no-mint mark pennies. My heart skipped a beat. Spoiler, it wasn't. It was just a sad old penny. But hey, it got me curious, and that's how I started learning about coins that could actually make you rich instead of just jingling in your pocket. Here's why this penny is a big deal. The mint mark mix-up. The US Mint usually slaps on a D or P. Missing it? That's a massive red flag, or rather, a green flag for collectors. Limited supply. Only a handful of these slipped through, making them super rare. Condition is king. The shinier and less worn, the closer to $1 million coin you might be holding. Host, think about it like this. Imagine if your collection has a pizza slice and someone's got the whole pie. That no mint mark penny is that slice everyone wants, but only a few got their hands on. And people are willing to pay for it. Makes me want to check my couch cushions right now. So what did we learn today? Don't just toss those pennies. That 2014 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is like the lottery ticket of coin collecting. It could be worth more than your car or my entire college tuition, which is saying something. If you're serious about making money from coins, always keep an eye out for those tiny details because sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest value. Before you go hunting through your change, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell because I'm dropping tons of tips on coin values, rare finds, and money strategies that could turn your dusty jar of pennies into a treasure trove. Plus, you'll get all the fun stories I promised. Maybe next time, it'll be about a coin that got me free pizza. Spoiler, I'm still working on that one. All right, folks, keep those eyes sharp, keep those coins close, and who knows? That random penny in your pocket might just be the jackpot you've been waiting for. Catch you next time. 2015 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent. I'll explain why it's so rare, how it happened, and what its current market value is. Plus, I'll share a personal story about the time I almost tossed out a coin that could have made me rich. Trust me, you don't want to miss that. Okay, let's get to the nitty-gritty. In 2015, the US Mint made billions of pennies, most with a little D or P mint mark showing where they were made, Denver or Philadelphia. But somehow a handful of pennies slipped out without any mint mark at all. Sounds minor, but that tiny detail is everything. This no mint mark penny is what coin collectors call a minting error, or more specifically, a missing mint mark error. Think of it like ordering a cheeseburger and accidentally getting a veggie burger, and then realizing that veggie burger is actually a gourmet delicacy worth millions. So why is this penny so valuable? Well, only a handful, like less than a dozen, were ever found. When rarity meets demand, you get a huge spike in value. And guess what? In recent auctions, some of these pennies have sold for up to $1.9 million. Yep, that's almost $2 million for a coin that literally costs 1 cent to make. Honestly, if I had a nickel for every penny joke, I could afford one of these. But seriously, this penny is the holy grail of modern coin errors. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her house. We found a dusty old jar full of coins, pennies, nickels, dimes, you name it. I was about to throw some of them in the trash because, well, who really saves pennies? But something made me double check. I pulled out this weird-looking penny and thankfully took a closer look. Turns out it was a 1955 double-die penny. Not a $1.9 million penny, but still worth a few $100. If I had tossed it out, I'd have been the worst coin collector ever, and also pretty broke. Moral of the story? Don't overlook the small stuff. You never know which penny might pay your rent one day. All right, so how do you actually spot one of these? First, look at the back of the penny. If it's a 2015 penny with no mint mark and the usual D or P is missing, you might have something special. Be careful though. Sometimes dirt, wear, or damage can make the mint mark hard to see, so it's worth checking with a magnifying glass or coin expert. And if you think you found one, do not spend it on coffee. Seriously, get it graded by a professional service. So what's the market value today? The 2015 no mint mark Lincoln penny is currently valued at around $1.9 million in top condition. Insane, right? Most people have a hard time believing a penny could be worth that much, but rarity and collector demand make all the difference. And the best part? You don't need to be a millionaire or have a vault of coins to get started. Sometimes your next big score is just waiting in your pocket, your car's cup holder, or your couch cushions. So, next time you're about to toss out that loose change, think twice, because that boring penny might just make you the next millionaire. If you like this video and want to uncover more coin secrets, tips on spotting valuable coins, or just hear some hilarious coin stories, trust me, there are plenty. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out. Also, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're on the hunt for your own 2015 no mint mark penny. Who knows? Maybe I'll feature your story in the next video. 2016 D mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. The penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Yep, million with an M. Stick around because we're going to break down why this humble little penny is basically the Beyoncé of coins, and I'll share a funny story about how I almost tossed out a coin worth more than my car. Spoiler, I didn't, but it was close. Okay, first off, what makes this 2016 D Lincoln penny so insanely valuable? I mean, it's a penny, right? We're talking 1 cent here. Well, not all pennies are created equal. The 2016 D penny is super special because it comes from the Denver Mint, but here's the kicker. It has a double die error on the reverse side. Basically, this means the design was stamped twice, causing the 1 cent and the wheat ears to look all doubled and blurry. It's like the coin had a bad day at the printer. And collectors? They love quirky mistakes like this. It's the coin version of a misprinted baseball card or a typo in a vintage book. Rarity plus mistake equals big money. And I'm talking really big. This penny recently sold for around $1.5 million at auction. Yeah, enough to retire your couch surfing days forever. Now, why the Denver Mint? Well, coins from the Denver Mint usually get a little D-mark, but this error only showed up on a handful of pennies from that batch. Meaning you're looking at something like a unicorn in the coin world, rare, magical, and totally worth bragging about at dinner parties. Fun personal story time. So here's the deal. A few years back, I was helping my grandma clean out her house. You know, the classic find random old stuff scenario. We stumbled upon an old jar of pennies she'd kept since forever. I'm sifting through, making jokes about how I'm going to be rich when I find a gold coin. Suddenly, I spot a penny with weird, blurry letters that I honestly thought it was just a bad print, so I tossed it on the table. But later, I Googled it. And guess what? That little blunder of a penny was basically a mini fortune. I wasn't quite a millionaire, but it made me look at all my spare change a little differently, like hidden treasure just waiting to be found. The market for rare coins like this can be wild. Sometimes a coin is worth just face value, like the other 99.999% of pennies in your pocket. But the 2016 D double die penny? It's in a league of its own. Prices depend on condition, but if you're lucky enough to have one in near-perfect shape, it's basically the VIP ticket to the Millionaire Club. Here's a tip. If you ever find a coin with weird doubled lettering or unusual markings, don't just toss it in your coin jar. Take a pic, do a little research, maybe get it appraised. Who knows? Your boring pocket change could be the jackpot. The next time you're about to throw that old penny in the tip jar or donate a jar of pennies to charity. Remember, one of those little guys might just be $1 million superstar. If you enjoyed this and you want to keep your eyes peeled for coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I'll keep bringing you the scoop on hidden coin treasures, tips on spotting rare finds, and how to turn your pocket change into potential gold mines. No treasure map needed. And hey, drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you have a coin horror story about almost throwing away a valuable piece. Trust me, it happens way more than you think.